It's Thursday, the 24th of March, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, story number 1 today is just so extraordinary. And we've heard a lot about the Star in recent days, and every day it just seems the story gets better and better. The inquiry into whether the Star Group is fit to hold a gaming license is hearing just more and more disturbing tales. Yesterday, it was revealed the casino group knew it was dealing with an individual linked to triad groups.
Yes, the Star's manager of due diligence and intelligence, Angus Buchanan, said he was aware that the Sun City Junket, that's a group that organised trips for VIP customers to casinos all around the world. So the Sun City Junket was likely linked to criminals and that one of its key investors was a triad gang member. Person Alvin Chow, who was CEO of Sun City, was allegedly involved in illegal bookmaking, drug trafficking, and large-scale money laundering activities. Mr. Buchanan had worked at the Hong Kong Jockey Club and knew all about it. He told senior executives at the Star, but nothing was done for 3 months until claims were made in the media. Mr. Chan was arrested last November. Now, Sun City is the group that has an exclusive gaming room at Crown Melbourne. We found out about that last year. And in May 2018, $5.6 million in cash was found in the cupboard of the room. It's funny, the Star had looked relatively clean compared to Crown, but as this inquiry goes on, that's not the case.
Sean, story number 2 today, much of the action at the moment is in bond markets. And I think whenever you say bond markets, there is a certain number of people, the eyes just glaze over. But this has a significant impact on our super funds, and we pretty much all have a super fund.
I think you're one of those people, Michael.
I am. Could you tell? Could you actually hear the glaze?
Sort of. You look, always think about bonds. Bonds is a massive, massive industry. They're actually more sensitive to interest rate changes. Now, something called the Bloomberg Global Aggregate Index, which is a benchmark for government and corporate bonds, has fallen 11% from its high 12 months ago. Could you imagine if equity markets were down 11% from 12 months ago? We'd be talking a lot about it. In fact, it's the biggest drop in at least 30 years, and bonds are supposed to be safe. That's what's so remarkable about this. We've all got bonds in our super accounts. The value of those bonds are lower than they were 12 months ago. That is the bottom line. Having said all that, bonds are now yielding much more. They've been sold off, so you can actually get them for cheaper. If you buy them in the market today, you'll get a much better return than a few months ago. Very important story, Michael. Keep listening to it.
Yeah, that's right. Now, if you're still with us, we'll move on to story number 3. 2.1 million Australians, Sean, this is an incredible stat. This is just an amazing stat. 2.1 million Australians experienced some type of personal fraud last financial year. This is according to the Bureau of Stats. Isn't that an incredible number?
Sure is. And I wonder how many experienced fraud and didn't know about it. There's been a jump in card fraud and scams, and the Bureau estimates that only about half of those who experienced a scam reported it. Fortunately, most of the card fraud and identity theft does make it to the attention of authorities. About 2/3 are buying or selling scams, and 23% are computer support scams. 2 million Aussies, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, sure is. Story number 4, Sean, big news yesterday off the coast of Western Australia with one of the country's biggest oil and gas producers, Santos, making a significant oil discovery.
Yes, it was 160 kilometres northeast of Port Hedland. The Pavo 1 field is 70% owned by Santos and 30% by Carnarvon Energy, which is also listed on the ASX. Now, Santos Chief Executive Kevin Gallagher said they were low-carbon oil and gas resources and would add to Australia's energy security. It's the second largest oil find in the past 5 years. Now, Carnarvon Energy's share price jumped 12% on the news. Santos's was unchanged. I still feel a sense of romanticism that out there 160 kilometres off the coast of Australia, you can find oil or minerals, or it's a real frontier out there. And so just putting aside the environmental issue here, it is quite incredible, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, last one today, Sean. Story number 5. We're used to companies like Adidas or Coca-Cola or Visa sponsoring the FIFA World Cup, but you better get ready to see a whole lot of ads for Crypto.com.
That's right. It's a real shift away from traditional sponsors for the round ball sport. The World Cup is being played in November this year in Qatar rather than the normal June and July period because of the weather, of course. And the signing is the latest in a run of sporting events and teams that have gotten a crypto sponsor. World Cup sponsorships are worth tens of millions of dollars, possibly even more. Crypto.com is an exchange based in Singapore. It's already put money into F1, into Ultimate Fighting Championship, now into football. We are going to see Crypto.com everywhere. Mind you, the flip side is it's a great new revenue stream for all those sports around the world.
Yeah, sure is. That's it. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Thursday, the 24th of March, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if you want a bit more information, if 5 minutes isn't quite enough for you, you can always find our longer daily show, which is called Fear and Greed, on your podcast platform. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.